Yeah.
Having a life of immigrants with ethnic enclave is really fascinating, and it can saving the identity of the immigrant itself. But the fact that the immigrants live in a place within the country which is really different from their motherland. Therefore, in this debate, in order to having a fascinating life, and also we are going to saving the identity of the immigrant itself, as the first generation immigrant parent of a color in a predominantly with the white country, we would choose to live and raise the children in an ethnic enclave, ladies and gentlemen. Before we are going to talk about the arguments in this debate, let me clarify what is the first generation immigrant parent itself. The first generation immigrant parent itself is, is the people who are actually immigrated from their motherland to other country, which is which is having a different identity and also a different behaviors and so on and so forth, ladies and gentlemen. It means that they are coming to the new country as a new people, as a new citizen with a different identity and also with a different cultural background, ladies and gentlemen. So the children in the first generation itself is a born child, which is they have to save, they have to educate and also to give to raise and lead their children. In this occasion, to live and raise the children, we are going to educate, and also we are going to raise the children by using the ethnic enclave, ladies and gentlemen. What is the goals of this? The goals is we want to save the identity, which will be matter to everything in this life, in the immigrant's life, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, in this debate, I'm going to talk about why we have to leave the children with the ethnic enclave, and then the second one, what is the concentrations of the ethnic enclaves itself, and the third one, who is the people who are actually have the privilege to do that, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome to our argument. First, why we have to live with an ethnic enclave, ladies and gentlemen. As our goal today is we want to save the identity of the people of the immigrants itself. So which will so what is the identity itself? Identity is something that embedded with the immigrant or with the people, which represents something which will impact to the actions that will be undertaken, and also how to make a decision, and also how to behave. That's the underlying of everything. And then why this identity really matters in this occasion, ladies and gentlemen, because the identity brings comfort and security. Why this is really important? Because when we are living in some country, and when we don't have any comfort and security, it'll make it bad thing to ourselves, and also how we behave with other people. How can we be a good civilian if we don't have any security and comfort? For example, like when we want to go to the school, but we don't have any security, we don't have any comfort to go to that school because of many mistake or problem with the security itself. It could be making a bigger problem, ladies and gentlemen. And the second one, this identity really matters for the consequence. It is really consequential to their civil participation. Why is civil participation really matter, ladies and gentlemen? Because of the civil participation will giving the impact on how they behave with the government, and also how they run themselves as the political person, and it will give the impact to the bigger thing, like how do they communicate with people, and also how they give the trust to the government, and so on and so forth, ladies and gentlemen. And then the second one, this second argument, in order to saving identity, what will we do what will we do is by having ethnic enclaves, or raise and educate the children of the first generation of the immigrants itself by concentrating in ethnic enclaves. So what are the concentrations? The first is we want to saving the cultural value of the children itself by upholding the ethnic enclaves itself. Why this is really matter? This is really relatable to the identity, which is embedded with the cultural, which is this identity. This identity shapes the cultural things, like when you want to communicate with others, it is really it's related with the cultural itself, right? And also the concentration. What is the benefit by saving the cultural value? We want to. The benefit is that we could preventing the bad things. The bad things by having the identity, which will be delivered by the DPM Prime Minister in this debate. And then the third one, the first generation, who is the one who are actually having a privilege to save their children. It is the first generation of immigrant parents. Why it could happen? Because they have a privilege to decide whether their children have to do A, to have to do B, or have to do C. And it is really beneficial for the mental health development, for example, or for the successful adaptation for the children itself, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, we are going to save the identity by raising the children with the ethnic enclaves by the first generation immigrant parents. So we come back to propose. Thank you.
Under this motion, we analyze that this ethnic enclave is something that really must, as first generation immigrant parents, to order these children to go and live and also live and rise in this ethnic enclave. What my first speaker told you before is what is the more important and also the biggest role of this ethnic enclave is they want to keep their identity as well, because their identity is something that really must, and that is something that has to be stand in the very first hand as a people and as a children of this society. Therefore, something that I want to talk in this argument is why we have to live and rise in this ethnic enclave, and what is the benefit by children living inside of that ethnic enclave, and so on and so forth, and why this kind of scenario that I'm going to talk more. This is how it's going to be a good thing for the children for the future. But first of all, why we have to live and rise in this ethnic enclave? Like my first speaker told you before, that this identity that actually that already taught by my speaker is something that really benefit for them. And also in another things that it's not only about talking about the identity. We have to talk something such as how they can live with their whatever. When they try to see the status quo right now, today the predominantly white country, moreover, can say some country like USA, which has dominantly most of them are going to most of the people are the immigrants actually coming from Mexico, or maybe the immigrants coming from China, Korea, and so on and so forth. They actually living there also and also have a big life in that country. Predominantly, the status quo right now shows you that there are a lot of cases that actually happen for them, especially something such as bullying, and also something such as the discrimination actually happen for the Chinese people or maybe the Mexican people actually getting bullied by the local people in there. Therefore, something is that some case actually happen in that status quo. That what I want to prevent today is. What I want to prevent is not only how these children getting not bullied in the very first hand, but how they can have a better option when they get a bullying, they have a better option to live a better way in their better environment that I'm going to talk in my original letter. And secondly, why they have to live in this ethnic enclave is not only it's not only about the environment. It's not only about the environment, but also the economic and also what they need, and as a children, they can be purified and also fulfilled by that environment. children is an age that actually children has to have a better kind of condition that will have to be provided by their parents and also their environmentally. When we see the status quo right now, when the children have bigger burden in their self, when the children having like bullying and so on and so forth, there will be a worse condition for the children, not only for their age but also for the future itself. What we want to do as the government, we try to at least save their children's life. Therefore, we can let their life maybe will getting a bigger mentality. Also, they have a stronger mentality to face the real life outside of that ethnic enclave. Therefore, this ethnic enclave this ethnic enclave can save to you something that is more. You will not be more depressed by your environment as you getting bullied and so on and so forth, and you will be getting more successful in this ethnic enclave, ladies and gentlemen. And also, what I want to say is what I want to talk to you is the environmental, how this environmentally friendly going to be a better condition, ladies and gentlemen. We see that their condition as that I already talked to you is not ready to face the diverse condition between why am I a Chinese people and also why am I a migrant people, actually keeping by their identity as well as the children. Therefore, in their age as a children, they cannot even be the difference between why I have to be like this and also why the people around me as going to be has a different color as example. Therefore, what I want to deliver as government today is what I want to deliver some protection for the children. Not only protection coming from their environmentally, but also coming from their parents. Why? Because their parents has a better privilege to choose whether you have to live in the majority and also the minority instead. Because maybe the majority will always win and the very first time. Maybe you win the minority as a Chinese, maybe you will never get a bigger place inside of society. Therefore, inside of this ethnic group, you have a bigger chance to be like a minority inside, even like you live in a small circle, but you live in the society, you live in the environment which is really good for you and also for your future. Even if in the condition when they get bullied, even like they go to school and also they get bullied inside of their school, you will still have a better chance to live a better life. Sometimes as you go to outside of this ethnic enclave, you maybe go to San Angeles and so Los Angeles, at least after you get bullied and so on and so forth, you can have a better place to go back, ladies and gentlemen. When comparing to the condition where you not live and rise in this ethnic enclave, you will never have a better place to go back to have a better environment and so on and so forth. Therefore, you have no any kind of option that you have to face, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, the option that you're going to be better is when you live inside of this ethnic enclave, even like inside of this predominantly white country, ladies and gentlemen. And also, what I'm going to deliver to you is what is the concentration of ethnic enclave itself. The concentration of ethnic enclave itself is they propose to you high ethnic concentration and also the characteristic, cultural identity and also the economic activity. Inside of these 3 points, we are going to deliver that this 3 points actually will get a more benefit to you. Something is characteristic, cultural identity, like what my first speaker told you before, and also the economic activity. Why am I going to talk about the economic activity? This economic activity is the condition where maybe you as a children, you as a parent, trying to propose your children inside of the society environment. This economic inside of this economic activity, maybe you have a same interest with your environment, and also that same interest will be gain more benefit to you, will get more benefit for you, like and support for the children itself. We beg to propose. Thank you.